Hey everybody, it's been a couple weeks. I am finally back from our family trip to California. I've been feeling pretty anxious lately. The trip, being a family trip, was not very relaxing. So for those of you who don't remember from my first video, I have two girls. They are 3 and 6. And we went to go visit my sister in San Francisco. She has 2 kids. They're 2 and 4. And with 4 kids, and her house echoes a lot, it sounded like there were 10 kids in the house. And you know, we took them to children's museums and things like that, and with the crowds and the noise, it just wasn't very peaceful for me. And then coming home, the kids seem louder than ever. So at any rate, I'm trying to decompress tonight. So tonight's video is going to be a little bit different. So I won't be doing all my haul together and that sort of thing, because I'm going to kind of tell you a story. And in that story, there were 2 times I went to my LNS, Stitchville. So I kind of have to show you this stuff separately to kind of tell you how, or to take you through this story. So the story actually started in California. Whenever I go on a trip, I want to go visit the local cross-stitch shops. And the one nearest my sister is Needle in a Haystack. And I like to go, one, just to see what, you know, maybe different things that they have, patterns that might be local to the area. So maybe California specific patterns, or just to even check out patterns that my LNS may not necessarily carry, which would be shocking, but it could happen. And I didn't get a chance to do that. On the last day that we were in California, my cousins came to visit. Very sweet of them to do so. But they were there exactly the times that the LNS was open. So from 11 in the morning until 4:30 at night, they were visiting with us, which was very nice. But my sister lives 30 minutes away from the LNS, so they closed at 5. So that didn't happen. So that was Wednesday. So then Thursday, Deb, who owns Stitchville, was coming back and opening with all of her Nashville releases. And because I didn't get a chance to go to Needle in a Haystack, and I was still kind of anxious from all the events happening in California, I actually took a few hours off in the morning and went to Stitchville to kind of enjoy the Nashville release shows. So I will show you what I got from there, and by no means is this everything that I have. There's still stuff coming from orders, so this is just a little taste of what I got. So I got this. This is from Amy Brukin. I'm sorry, did my eyes roll out loud? So I am a big eye roller. I roll my eyes all the time. And what I thought I would do is actually make this and hang it up in my office. And I don't know, I'm guessing those are sunflowers. Do they look like sunflowers to all of you? They kind of look like sunflowers to me. So I thought what I do is, instead of stitching those, I might actually put in 2 eye buttons instead that actually look like they're rolling their eyes. But at any rate, I thought this was very funny. I'm a very sarcastic person. This is funny. So I got that. I also got this Chessie and Me, and I'm sure all of you have seen these. It's called Out on a Limb, and that box, love the box. They did not carry it. They said, Deb had said that they had a prototype there, but didn't have any to purchase yet. So I'm also waiting on that. I also got this. Now from the picture, it seems like it's really tall, right? This is called Garden Blues by Fern Ridge Collections. And it seems like a tall box, but it's not. Look at how short that is. But actually, I love it more. And I mean, look at all of that you get with it. So I'm pretty excited about this. I was kind of lukewarm on it from the photo, but once I got it in hand, very happy with it. This wasn't a Nashville piece, but I've been eyeing it for the last few weeks since it was released. Just love it. So I'm going to be stitching that. I also got this by Nikki Creations. What is this called? The Garden Time Sewing Bag. I also got the fabric to go along with it. I think that's very cool. It's the banding, so I'm going to be doing that. And then some other non-Nashville but Lizzie Kate items. Oh, Christmas tree. Love the fabric that came with it. I'm going to stitch that. And then the same with this one, Very Merry Santa. I thought this one was cute. And again, comes with fabric. So I'm pretty excited about those. And then came across these. Deb had also brought back some pins. I'm a sucker for pins, especially Halloween pins. So look at those. Hopefully it'll focus. Maybe not. But you get the gist. Love these. These are puntini pins. Here, I'll show you the back so you can kind of see that. I also got Christmas pins. And then I loved these kind of C pins. And then I also got these pins. And these were by Just Another Button Company. Alright, then I also got from Brenda's Minders and More. I got a couple needle minders. Love that frog. And I also got these. Now, she threw this one in, but I thought that was cute. And then look at these. The wings on the bee move, and the legs on this guy move. So, love them. Alright, and sorry to go back. Also at Stitchville, I picked up a couple pieces of fabric. I didn't do a floss toss. I should have done a floss toss. And that's kind of part of the story. So, there are a couple pieces. I just joined a group called Bewitched Stitchers, and it's just a cool group. And there are a couple pieces that I want to stitch just because I'm a member of this group. So I wanted to pick up fabric, and I thought this fabric would work. I have two pieces. It turned out that neither one of them, when I got them home to do a floss toss, actually worked. But it's Weeks Dye Works Tin Roof, 40 count. And I'll find something to stitch on them. I have no doubt about that. This is also Picture This Plus Murky, 40 count. So I was going to do, like Bewitched Stitchers kinds of alludes to just kind of some Halloween-y type patterns. I bought them online through a PDF file. One thing I don't like about PDF files is you got to print it to kind of show what the pattern is. I didn't print either one to show you, so you'll have to kind of see through my progress. But at any rate, so that was Thursday. Go to the shop. Find out that the fabric isn't going to work. I also went through my stash and wanted to pull the DMC for those projects. Realized I was missing some. Now, while I was going through my DMC, I actually found out of the corner, or saw out of the corner of my eye, a long lost WIP. I had started stitching on it about 4 years ago. It was my traveling WIP, so whenever I went somewhere, it would be stuck in my purse. And if I had wait times and things like that, I would pull it out and stitch on it. One day, gone. Don't know where it went. I couldn't have left it anywhere. It was somewhere. Could not find it. And while I was looking for my DMC, saw it out of the corner of my eye in another see-through project bag that had a different project in it. And it's so funny because when I lost it, I was so devastated. I actually bought another one. I think I know where it is, but I didn't start it because I was still devastated by the death of my other WIP that I couldn't find, and I was almost done with, which made it even more devastating. But I found it. Couldn't believe it. So I will show you that now. This is Thy Needle by the Primitive Needle. Deb at Stitchville actually had this made into a pincushion. It was fabulous. This comes actually in a kit. And see how far? I mean, I'm determined just to finish this now. And so I've put my other WIP down, but it shouldn't take me that long because, I mean, look how close I am. So just to show you what's left, you might be able to see the white outline around these circles. I still have the ones on this side to do. And then this whole angel is filled in with white, which actually, or a white type floss, which kind of gets to the other part of my story. But let me show you, this is what the pattern looks like. It came in one of these burlap bags, so it had the fabric and the pattern in here. And like I said, I have another one somewhere. So at any rate, to stitch this angel, it called for roasted almond. What did I have in the project bag with it? It called for roasted marshmallow. What did I have in the bag with it? Toasted marshmallow. Not roasted marshmallow, but toasted. And I'm a direction follower. There are times where I do things that aren't called for, but it bothered me. Like, I needed to know what roasted marshmallow looked like versus toasted marshmallow. Now you would think, okay, what difference does one letter make from a color perspective, right? Yeah, I was thinking, just do it. I was trying to talk myself into it and just couldn't. So that brought me, not only did I have fabric that wouldn't work for the projects I wanted to do, but I didn't have the right thread. And I was like, do I order it online and pay the shipping that's about the same price as the thread? And it'll take a few days. And, it just gnawed at me. So I made a Stitchville run. Now, it's close, but not especially close. So it's about 20 miles away. So I probably spent more on gas than I would have if I just paid the shipping. But, what's the fun of that? Plus, I wanted to look through the fabric and actually do floss tosses this time. So I did that. And I found out what roasted marshmallow looked like. And it is more vintage looking. And the toasted marshmallow looks more white. So I am glad I'm doing it. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell the difference. Maybe a little bit, if you can see that. So this one's the one that's called for. So this is roasted marshmallow, and this is toasted marshmallow. So it did make a difference. So I'm glad I did it. And so I'll be using the called for thread. So much happier. All right, so I bought my 2 other pieces of fabric. And I'm pretty much a person now that just wants to stitch on 40 count. However, they didn't have this color in 40 count. They had it in 32, which, fine. But I can't decide which one to use yet for this specific project. So I got both pieces of fabric that I couldn't decide between because they were only about $5, so why not? So this one is Picture This Plus Echo. This is the 32 count that they didn't have in 40 count. And this is 40 count Weeks Dye Works Beige. The ever descriptive beige. I think either of these would work. I don't think I can make a bad choice, but yeah, I just got them both. And then for the other project I was thinking of, I got Pearl Barley, which is 40 count. And then, I always have to get something that's not on my list because that's what happens when you walk into an LNS. So I got this, the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. It's the spring issue of 2018, and the reason I got it was because Stitchville is the featured shop. So that was the sole reason I got it, was because my LNS is featured in this magazine. Didn't even look at the patterns. When I got home, I looked at the patterns and almost love every one of them that's in here. Here, let me just show you a couple of them. This one's a really bad picture, but I love that. Hang on with me. I thought that was darling. And these are the gals at the shop. This is the Stitchville. That's Deb right there and her fabulous staff. But look at all the thread behind them. And the pictures in here that you'll see of the shop. I mean, it's just an amazing place. It's like heaven on earth. Look at all that fabric. And I know people have done Flosstube videos of the shop itself, so you'll be able to see those. I also loved this one. This is by Barbara Anna, called Frida, of course. Look at that. Love her. Love it. Where's the other one that couple others. Love that. Look at those bunnies. And look at this. I thought that was cool. Now that's supposed to be a pond, but like from a primitive perspective, I really like that. So yeah, score. I ended up getting it just for this. Awesome patterns in here. Fantastic. All right, so that's that. So that's kind of what I had for you today. I did make some progress on my Dragons of Sumatra, but I don't have it here with me. So I'll have to show that another time. I did get virtually another page done. So I'm cruising right along on that. So I'm excited. But like I said, I really do want to just finish this up. I mean, it's practically done. It's like, yeah. I just need to finish it. My long lost piece. I can't believe I found it again. So, I don't know if any of you have experienced that. I'm almost embarrassed, but I have no memory of having put it where it was. So, at any rate, so from a future stitching perspective, I will finish this, and then I'll continue on the Dragons of Sumatra, and then after that, I do intend to go back to the Chatelaine Medieval Town Mandala. I just need to power through that and just finish it off. That'll haunt me. You know, it's been a WIP for 13 years. It's time to put it to bed. So, all right, well, I hope you all enjoyed your weekend, and today being Sunday, for those of you who are impacted, your hour time change. So at any rate, I hope you are all well, and stitch on. Bye.